To events in the United States, and Donald Trump has won his fourth primary in a row. The 77-year-old celebrated a resounding victory in South Carolina, beating his only rival for the Republican presidential nomination. But despite losing in her home state, Nikki Haley has vowed to stay in the race. Well, Donald Trump won with 59.8% against 39.5% for Haley. He appears to be on course to win the Republican nomination after victories in Iowa, New Hampshire, Nevada, and now South Carolina. More votes will take place in Michigan, Idaho, North Dakota as well in the coming weeks. But all eyes are on the primaries on March the 5th, known as Super Tuesday, in states including California and Texas, where a large number of delegates are up for grabs. Well, Nikki Haley has vowed to stay in the race, but her path to the nomination will be almost impossible if Trump is victorious on Super Tuesday. Our US correspondent James Matthews reports.
President Donald J. Trump.
Yet another Trump victory in the race to be presidential candidate. After South Carolina, this has the air of a nomination nailed down.
An even bigger win than we anticipated, and I was just informed that we got double the number of votes that has ever been received in the great state of South Carolina.
It had been a primary contest between Trump and the woman that he once appointed ambassador to the United Nations.
Thanks so much. Good to see you.
Nikki Haley had sharpened her attacks on this leg of the race, calling Donald Trump confused, weak at the knees on Russia, and siding with a dictator in Vladimir Putin. And yet she made limited impression on solid Trump support, but vowed to keep trying.
I said earlier this week that no matter what happens in South Carolina, I would continue to run for president. I'm a woman of my word.
This was the Conservative Political Action Conference in Washington, D.C. this weekend. The Republican picture today is of a party with a centre of gravity shifted behind Donald Trump. It is his party and his nomination to lose, so close he can touch it. James Matthews, Sky News in Washington.
Well, joining us now live from New York is Sky's US election commentator Michael Wolff. Great to see you again, Michael. Donald Trump's hold over the party then remains rock solid.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it has never wavered. So, all the talk about this being a primary race, Nikki Haley, Ron DeSantis, whoever, it's actually been meaningless from the beginning. Donald Trump, right from the beginning of this race, has been the inevitable nominee.
So why is Nikki Haley hanging on then when she knows that ultimately it's futile?
I can only assume she is running for high position in a Biden White House, because I can't think of any other reason why she would be doing this.
In a Biden White House?
Well, she has no Republican constituency at all. She actually has a constituency among independents and it would seem Democrats at this point. So I would think that may well be her destination. It will be interesting to see if in the end she supports Donald Trump or really bolts the party.
Yeah, polls have suggested that she's better positioned to defeat Biden in November, haven't they?
Well, yeah, but those are meaningless polls because she will never be in that position.
True, very true. Her donors are sticking with her, though, aren't they?
Well, there remains a part of the Republican Party, or I would say it's almost a former part of the Republican Party that is adamantly and militantly against Donald Trump. I mean, one of the interesting things here is whether that part of the party or former part of the party actually continues to boycott Donald Trump into the general election. That'll be a pivotal question.
Could you see a route where Nikki Haley might run as an independent? Explain the no labels scenario.
Well, there almost is no scenario to run as an independent, and so that's one of those conversations, part of the talk that it's media talk to try to hype a race, look for a story. So without question, Nikki Haley is not going to run as an independent.
So let's talk a little bit about Donald Trump then. His victory seems to be secure.
Absolutely rock solid, 100%. And quite specifically, the Trump campaign believes that they will have the nomination wrapped up. That is the number of delegates needed for the nomination. I think their date is March 19th, so very shortly.
What happens in April after his court case if he becomes a convicted felon? What does that mean? What changes then?
Well, nobody knows. There's another Donald Trump variable. What is going to happen? I mean, we've asked that question before, and that question was asked when he was indicted. The first president or former president to face a criminal indictment. And everybody said, "Oh, what's going to happen? How will this affect things?" Well, it turned out to redound to his credit, both financially and electorally. Will the felony conviction have the same impact? We don't know. Could be. I mean, it's literally unknown territory. Remember, if he's convicted of a felony in the state of New York, then he is essentially, New York State has full power over him. They could put him in jail. So again, we all wait to see.
So many unknowns, and we know you'll be with us all the way to November. Michael Wolff, Sky News US election commentator. Great to get your thoughts once again. Thank you.